Okay, so if we move on to question 6, again from paper 22 from the October-November 2023 series, it says a procedure create file will take two parameters. First, a string representing a file name, and secondly, an integer representing the number of files to be created. The procedure will create the number of text files specified, and each file is given a different name, with each name formed by concatenating the file name with a suffix based on the file number, and the suffix is always 3 characters. So for example, the call CreateFiles testdata3 would result in the creation of 3 files, right? Testdata, well, 001, 002, 003, and each file will contain a single line. For example, testdata, well, 002, right, just has, this line. And right, it says, well, assume that both parameters are valid and that the integer value is between 1 and 999 inclusive. So yeah, we don't really have to do any validation. Okay, so if we just go ahead and write this, so let's go, create files. And the difficult thing here, to be honest, is let's say, for example, well, we have 1, right? It's how we go from 1, and then how we kind of go to the like padded string like this. Now, there's a simple way to do it, which I mean we'll use in this video, just because in the exam you don't have much time. And for example, the simple way, well, it's only going to work kind of like with the number of digits you specify. So for example, here we know 3 digits, okay, so we can make a method that will work just with 3 digits. However, if you want to see something more general, I think you can go here to procedures, right, and there's a method called pad, and we can use that to pad like a kind of arbitrary length of either leading digits, and you can also kind of convert it to do trailing characters too. But again, we'll just use the simple method right in this video, because in the exam you don't want to be like messing around with overly complex solutions. Right, so here then says, right, so let's look at the parameters. I mean, let's call it I don't know, maybe base name, or base file name. I think base name is okay. And then let's say here this will be num files. Right, so I think here then we just want a loop. So let's go for n, and I mean we could say, I don't know, file num, I guess. Right, so this will start from 1, and then we will just go to the number of files. And let's just go next file num. Right, okay, and then what we want to do, I guess we just want to, right, so I think here then this is where we actually want to kind of generate the real file name. So let's just declare, let's just say file name. I guess that's fine. And then what's going to happen is, or I mean we could call this file extension if we wanted. Okay, let's go with file like ext, right, file extension. So here the file extension, well, this is going to be equal to, I guess we're going to go num to string, right, and this will be the file num, right, and then we can just have an if statement. So let's say, okay, actually let's not do it like this. Let's just go here and we will say if, if file num, and let's see if this is less than 10. Well, then what we will do is we'll say file extension, and this is just going to be like 00. Then we'll just concatenate with num to string of file num, because this means it's going to be a single digit. Alright, so we just want 2 leading digits and then the actual number. Right, then let's have another one. So we go if file, if file num is less than 100. Right, less than 100. I mean, then we're just going to kind of do the same. So this will just be 10, and then we're just going to go num to string and the file num. Right, and then we just have the else, and I guess, well, here it's going to be 3 digits already. So in that case, we can just go num to string. Right, and we will just go file num. Okay, so I think that should work. Then let's just go endif like this. And I mean, this is actually the most difficult part. We've done this already. In fact, let's just copy just to see the line of text it want. Okay. Okay, so I think then what we can do, well, let's just go open file, and yeah, we can also maybe declare a file name. Right, so the file name, well, let's just assign this. So this is going to be the base name, right, and then we're just going to get and then there's going to be a dot, right, for the kind of extension. And then, yeah, the extension is going to be, well, this file extension. Right, so here then we can just open file name. This is going to be for write. And then what we want to do, well, we're just going to go write file. Okay, we're writing to this file name, and then the data we want to write, well, let's just say this. So we just go, yeah, this is file, and then we just have the file name. Yeah, so I think that should be okay. All right, and then if we just go close file, and yeah, is that everything? Yeah, I mean, I think maybe that's everything. Alright, so what I'm going to do, well, again, I'm just going to call it. Now, in the exam, of course, you don't need to use this call, but just, yeah, since we're testing it. And what do they say? They call it test data. And yeah, I think they just say 3. Alright, so let's see if this works. And yeah, okay, so this is test data 3, right, 1 and 2. So, okay, I think this is working.